Hello, I'm Shattered Rift, and this is my Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country 2. The votes were cast, all like 5 or 6 of them, and this is what 2 out of those 5 or 6 people wanted. I believe it was Sir Clucky and Pets King from the Spark Bomb community that both wanted this. The rest of you just kind of branched out in what you wanted. We're going to erase this bottom game, which was what I was playing last summer. Apparently it's going to take me about 4 hours to do this. So, you're in for a ride. So am I, for that matter. That will make this my longest Let's Play. And I just realized I cannot see this very well from the angle I'm sitting at. I'm going to have to be sitting upright doing this entire thing. There is a glitch in this level. Or not a glitch, there's a cheat in this level. Where, okay, let's get some plot in. I've kidnapped that lumbering fool Donkey Kong and you will never see him again. Har 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 har! Captain K.O. Hey, if we went up. Woohoo! There's a cheat in this game where if you do some really funky combination without getting those 2 bananas right there, I think, that you'll get the, all 75 Creme coins, which are needed to unlock, the different levels of the Lost World. As you can see, I just got Dixie Kong. And half of you watching should already be familiar with Donkey Kong, so I missed that guy. So I'll just skip over some of the basics. If I get all... No, actually I'll go over the basics. If I get all 4 of the letters of Kong, I get an extra life. Dixie cannot be hurt while I'm in the lead. The A button, as you'll see right now, does that. And I throw her up with Y, and I can jump and throw her... No, it's Y, not A. My bad. I can throw her, and I can throw her into guys. And if I'm pimp like that, I can hit 2 of them at once. Here's a halfway marker. The other boats... And that guy's kind of annoying. And there's the N, and here's a bonus stage. Find the token. Boy, that was pretty... Oh, I missed the banana coin. Oh well, who cares? And here we have Gramby. And there I'm charging him up so we can run like crazy. But I wanted to run the other way. Because there's another bonus stage. Destroy them all. That wasn't my narrator voice, was it? I'm sure some, like, people who are really good at this game can have Rambi just charge through here. I'm not that good. It's been about a year since I played this. I put this in my SNES last summer, or maybe this past summer, I don't recall which. Just to see how far I could go. There's a DK coin, there's one of those per level. Just to see how far I could go. And I made it to the last level of the Lost World. I believe it's called Animal Antics. It's a really crazy level. I might get stuck there for a while in this LP. If I actually make it to the 4-hour marker, right now it's about 3:52 according to my clock behind me. If I actually get up near the 4-hour marker, I'll probably around 2 hours, I'll check to see how much space is left on my hard drive. Yeah, it doesn't look sexually suggestive at all. I'm going to switch over to Dixie Kong. Bananas! And bonus stage. I'm probably going to need to check my hard drive at some point. I've got about 20 gigs open. And this takes up like 4 or 5 gigs an hour. So... yeah. We'll see how quick I can speedrun through this game. I think the actual speedrun time is somewhere around 1.5 hours. I don't expect to do anywhere near that well. Oh right, I need to sit up straight, don't I? Once again, I have trouble seeing if I'm like lounging back in my chair the way I normally would while playing. I have my MacBook positioned a little bit higher than usual, I think, which should help with the viewing angle. And there's some goodies over here. No, there aren't. Never mind. I lied to you. I'm sorry, YouTube. Can you ever forgive me? There was my lame attempt at humor, because I know that my Let's Plays could use some more humor. So, on the humorous note, to keep you all watching for the next however many parts this will be, I have a story to go with Donkey Kong Country 3, which I'm not playing right now, but it's related because it's Donkey Kong. Isn't there a way I can... Right, I already did that. Yeah, I completely zoned out while I was talking. The story I have relates to some old neighbors and my best friend from when I was a kid. So, I had some neighbors who were pretty spoiled. They got a lot of games and stuff. Donkey Kong Country 3 was one of those games, naturally. And as some of you might remember, Donkey Kong Country 3 was pretty much the last game to be advertised on the SNES. to actually have commercials for it. And maybe I'll touch back later on the fact that, you know, a lot of games aren't really advertised nowadays. So my best friend borrowed it from my neighbor, and he brought it over to my house so we could play it together. So we play it. At some point, it gets turned off, and we're doing something else. And my friend ultimately forgets that my friend ultimately leaves it here. So, being the ethical, moral person that I am, there's about two things I can do. I can either take it back to my best friend who's borrowing the game, or I can take it back to the neighbor who owns it. So I choose option 3. I'm going to hang on to the game for a little while and play it. So, apparently both my neighbor and my best friend were stuck on the second boss, which was the arachnid. I don't recall his name. And I pwn the arachnid. And then I go on to pwn, I think, the rest of the game, or almost all the rest of the game. I may not have gotten through Donkey Kong Country 3's Lost World in that playthrough. And so there's more to the story, though. At some point, maybe before or after I had finished playing as far as I got through the game, I got it back to my best friend who was borrowing the game. We'll go talk to Cranky for fun. Come and say hello to your old grandpappy Cranky. I'm back by popular demand to offer you my wealth of gameplay wisdom for this unnecessary sequel. This stuff is cheap at half the price. Oh yeah, he tells me where the bonus stages are. I probably won't need that. I'm off to spend my tokens. That wasn't a very good Cranky impression, was it? I'll try to go with something older next time if I ever visit another Cranky. What level is this? This level, okay. So anyways, my best friend shows back up at my house, and I give the game, or I'm going to give the game back to him. What ends up happening, however, is we're playing the game again, and it's still on, and at some point we pause it, I think, because his sister came over to come get him, because we're like 10 or, I'm like 11, maybe 11 years old at this point, and he's like, how old would he have been? He's like 3 years younger than I am. So he's like 8, we'll say. And the game is sitting there on, paused, but on, and he leaves without it. So I continue hanging on to it. Now eventually, when my neighbor was about to move, they did finally come here looking for the game, and they took it back. But that's still a pretty funny story, right? Maybe. Kind of. If not, I'll try to shoot for something else later. So, for a taste of real life, I was out car searching again today with my dad. We looked at a Buick Century and a Ford, what was it? Yeah, I can't kill these guys, by the way. Oh, yes, I can, never mind. What was the other car we were looking at? Ford something or other. Okay, this is a bad idea, but we're going for it. That wasn't what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to hit a barrel down there, okay. So I'm smart enough to remember that there was somewhere I was supposed to go down there, I just couldn't remember where. What was the Ford? See, if I jump on these guys normally, they turn red and they become mean badasses. Oh right, I didn't touch on who all the... You know, it's pretty embarrassing that I've died twice on the 3rd level. Where is the stupid barrel I'm supposed to hit down there to jet me across? Oh yeah, so I have to get the N again because it doesn't save. Should I head over here? Oh, there's the... Well, I found it. On my 3rd try. Crap, I was just saying something a second ago. Oh right, the votes. Spy voted for Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which I had actually been hoping would win. Unfortunately, it did not.